collie between his paws. The effect was charming.
There were other things in the stocking: nuts and oranges, a toy engine, chocolate-covered almonds, and a clockwork mouse. But the rabbit was quite the best of all.
For at least 2 hours, the child loved him, and then aunts and uncles and friends came, and there was a great rustling of tissue paper and unwrapping of gifts.
And in all the excitement of looking at all those new presents,
The mechanical toys were very superior and looked down upon everyone else. They were full of modern ideas and pretended they were real.
The rabbit could not claim to be a model of anything, for he did not know that real rabbits existed. He thought they were all stuck with sawdust like himself. He also understood that sawdust was quite out of date, and she never.
the skin horse had lived longer in the nursery than any of the others. He was so, the nursery magic was very strange and wonderful, and only those playthings that are very old and wise and
What is real? Does it mean having things that buzz inside you and have a stick-out handle?
Real isn't how you're made, it's a thing that happens to you. When a child loves you for a long, long time, not just to play with, but really loves you, then you become real.
Does it hurt?
Sometimes.
the skin horse was always truthful.
Happen all at once, like being wound up or bit by bit?
No, it doesn't happen all at once. You become, and it takes a long time. That's why it doesn't happen to toys who break easily, or who have sharp edges and have to be carefully kept. Generally, by the time you are real, most of your hair has been loved off.
Because you are real?
Said the rabbit, and he wished he had not said it, for he thought the skin horse might be sensitive. But the skin horse only smiled.
The child's uncle made me real, and that was a great many years ago. And once you become real, you can't become unreal again. It lasts forever and always.
The rabbit sighed. He thought it would be a long time before this magic called real happened to him.
He longed to become real, to know what it felt like. And yet the idea of growing shabby, and at first he found it rather uncomfortable, for the child liked to hug him very tight, and sometimes he pushed him so far under the pillow that the rabbit could scarcely breathe. And he missed those long moonlit hours in the nursery when all the house was silent, and when he
Had said was true at last. The nursery magic had happened to him, and he was a toy no longer.
I'm real. The child said it himself.
Then that night he was almost too happy to sleep, and so much love stirred in his little sawdust heart that it almost burst. And in his boot-button eyes that had long ago lost their polish, there came a look of wisdom and beauty.
near the house where they lived,
They round, and they crept quite close to him.
and the Velveteen Rabbit stared hard to see which side of the clockwork struck out, for he knew that toys who
I don't believe you can.
I can. I can jump higher than anything.
He meant when the child threw him, but he didn't want to say that.
Can you have on your hind legs like this?
Now that was a dreadful question, for the Velveteen Rabbit had no hind legs at all. The back of him was made all in one piece, and he sat still in the tall grass and hoped they wouldn't notice.
I don't feel like it.
But wild rabbits have very sharp eyes, and they stretched out their necks and looked.
He hasn't got any hind legs. Fancy Rabbit got any hind legs.
I have 2 hind legs. I'm sitting on them.
Then stretch them out and show us like this.
And they began to dance and whirl around, and the little rabbit just sat there watching.
I don't feel like dancing. It makes me dizzy. I'd rather sit still.
But all the while he was longing to dance, for a funny new feeling ran through him, and he felt he would give anything in the world to be able to jump about like these rabbits. Like these rabbits. Then they came close, and so
Down to footsteps. The little child was fast afoot.
Do come back. I know I'm real. The child said so.
For a long time he lay very still, watching the tall grass and hoping they would come back. But they never returned. Doesn't matter.
One day, the child became very ill.
his face became flushed.
And he talked in his sleep.
And his little body became so hot.
That it burned the little rabbit when he held him close.
Strange people came and went in the nursery, and the light burned all night. And through afraid that if they found him, someone might take him away. And he knew the child needed him.
It was a long, weary time. For the child who was too ill to play, and the little rabbit found it rather dull with nothing to do all day long. But he snuggled down patiently and looked forward to the time when the child would be well again.
All sorts of delightful things he planned, and while the child lay half asleep, he crept off close to the pillow and whispered in his ear. And then one day, the fever turned and
The child got better! It was a bright, sunny morning, and the window stood wide open. They had carried the child out onto the porch where he could breathe some fresh air.
While the little rabbit lay tangled up among the bedclothes, thinking.
Parents were talking about taking the child to the lake the next day. Everything was being arranged.
They had talked about it all the while. The rabbit led out to the end of the garden by the back alley.
That was a fine place to make a bonfire, only the child's father was too busy just then to attend to it.
That night, the child slept in a different room, and he had a new bunny to sleep with him. It was a splendid bunny, all white and plush with real glass eyes. But the child was too excited to care very much about it, for tomorrow he was going out to the lake, and that in itself was such a wonderful thing that he could feel.
If it all ends like this.
just then, a tear, a real tear, trickled down his little shabby velvet nose and fell to the ground.
And then a strange thing happened, for where the tear had fallen, a flower grew out of the ground, a mysterious flower. It had slender green leaves the color of emeralds, and in the center of the leaves a blossom, like a golden cup.
It was so beautiful